of South Longford. This is our chance. This is our time. The time to elect Joe McGuinness as a member of the British Parliament. Joe McGuinness, a man who fought to free this country, a man currently incarcerated in Lewes Jail. A vote for Joe McGuinness is a vote for the Irish Republic, a vote to break the connection with England. Patrick McKenna and the Home Rule Party are in favour of partition, and they will let the British government conscript young Irish men to fight in their wars. They want to divide this country and use our sons as cannon fodder. We cannot let that happen. We must not let that happen. We will not let that happen. Men of South Longford, vote Joe McGuinness. Put him in to get him out.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Ferguson. A group calling themselves The Right Fight have this morning occupied Longford Courthouse in protest at the government's decision to implement its controversial separatist policies. The Right Fight group are believed to be predominantly students and teenagers. Initial reports estimate that between 30 and 40 youths stormed the building at approximately 8 o'clock this morning. The protesters are understood to be armed, but so far there have been no reports of any casualties. We are still waiting for any official communication from the group, who our sources believe are being led by Alison Wilson.
Being led by Alison Wilson. What the bloody hell do they mean by that? This is a democratic group?
And Alison is the leader. There was a vote, Dee. It was democratic.
Well, she's not the only one, is she, Kathy? There's nearly 40 of us here, but she's the only one that gets a mention on national TV.
What are you saying? That she's doing this for the publicity? There are easier ways to get your name in the paper.
I'm saying that this isn't just about your girlfriend. Don't forget, we come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. We're here to change the hearts and minds of a fascist government, not to get her elected into it.
Elected to what?
Alison! Dee was just saying that with all this press coverage, you could run for election. Isn't that right, Dee?
Dee can speak for herself. Isn't that right, Dee?
If I'm given permission to speak, ma'am.
You don't need permission to speak. This isn't the army.
More's the pity. Then there might be an actual strategy and not just an excuse for a glorified sit-in. I'm going to check the perimeter.
My liege. How can one person manage to get on your every single nerve at exactly the same time and then shred them all into tiny little pieces?
Are you two not getting on? I had noticed. Tough day at the office, darling?
I know. Same old, same old. Occupied a government building to protest their immoral plan to drive a wedge between the citizens of this country. Same thing we do every bank holiday Monday.
I'm not doing this every bank holiday. Next time you're taking me to Westport or Dingle. As much as I love all this, it's hardly a romantic break.
I'll take you wherever you want to go. So long as Dee is nowhere near us.
Deal. Now that that's sorted, you need to see the comments on Facebook and Twitter. The Right Fight have lit up the internet. We are trending.
dream, because this isn't something I ever dreamt about. It's just...
Surreal.
Exactly, Ezra. It's surreal. It's like it's happening to someone else.
I know what you mean, Fiona. I feel like I'm on a movie set. Saving Private Ryan, or Black Hawk Down, or even The Hurt Locker.
Zero Dark Longford.
Good one, Ez. Nice that you haven't lost your wit. I'm going to miss that. And your sparkling conversation when they throw us all in solitary confinement.
They won't!
You'll be the first in. This is all your fault. If it wasn't for people like you, there'd be no need for septism, no need for protest, and no need for us giving up our bank holiday. You are so selfish.
Stop it, Ben! It's not like I don't feel guilty enough.
You should feel guilty. You're a social leper, a pariah, an interloper, infecting us with your non-Irish ways and brainwashing us and fighting for your non-existent rights. Oh, she's the one you want, officer. It's all her fault.
Ezra, you won't betray me, will you? We're like the Three Musketeers. One for all and all for one. You with me?
No.
Cold. So cold.
Well, now that we all know where we stand when the excrement hits the blades, I'm going to go inspect the troops.
Say hi to Kathy.
Wait till she sees you in that uniform. Maybe she'll turn.
Hey, if this doesn't do it, I don't know what will.
Maybe a sex change.
Heard that.
This is Roshi Nikanija for local radio news, standing on Main Street, Longford, across the road from the courthouse, which has been the scene of some confusion and panic on this bank holiday Monday. As far as we can gather, a group of students have taken over the building to protest at this government's non-Irish separatist policies. The students are believed to be armed, but as yet there have been no casualties. We still haven't heard from the protesters, who have been inside the building for more than 4 hours. I have spoken to Garda Sergeant Thomas Farrell, who would not give an official statement, but has said that the situation is being monitored on a local and national level. Sources here outside the courthouse say the protest is being led by Alison Wilson and her girlfriend Kathy Daly. At the moment, the atmosphere here is one of controlled tension as we wait for some sort of communication from the group. Roshi Nikanija, local radio news, Main Street, Longford.
Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and the dead generations, from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizens' Army. Having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment, and supported by her exiled children in America and gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first of her own strength. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible.
All right. Kathy, you're the one with the pen in your hands. Start writing.
Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations.
We are not starting with that.
Why not?
Because I said so. And I'm the one who has to read this out. Unless you want to do it. Like Padraig Pearse at the steps of the GPO. What? What?
There are no steps at the GPO.
Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
If we could all just put the history lesson to one side for a second and actually concentrate on this statement. That would be really helpful.
What about this? Irish men and Irish women. 100 years ago, a group of people fought for the freedom to be Irish. Today, here in Longford Courthouse,
where Joe McGuinness was elected as a Republican MP to the British Parliament.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
and where Bridget Lloyd sent a telegram to Lloyd George which read, Longford has given you the answer.
The right fight are giving this government an answer.
And our answer is no.
Hang on. I can't write that fast. The right fight are giving this government an answer.
Alison, look, I know what you said earlier, but we have to hit them with our demands now. This is just a statement. It doesn't really say anything. It's just spin. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. We need a call to arms, a battle cry.
We've been through this, Dee. We're not making any demands right now. The media haven't heard anything from us, and they'll fill any silence with lies, gossip, and propaganda. We need to let the people know who we are and what we're about. Let them know what we're fighting for, and that we're no threat to them. Let's just get this out there as soon as we can.
Alison's right. We're playing poker, and you never show your hand until you have to. We just want to raise the ante and see what they can do.
What are you talking about? This isn't poker, this is war. If they don't think we're a force to be reckoned with, they're not even going to engage with us. Right now, they probably think we're a bunch of drunken students, and this is a ragweed stunt. We need to cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. They need to know we're serious, that we're prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice.
What about this? Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and the dead generation. 100 years ago, a group of people fought for the freedom to be Irish. Today, here in Longford Courthouse, where Joe McGuinness was elected as the first Republican MP into the British Parliament, and where Bridget Lyons sent a telegram to Lloyd George, which read, Longford has given you the answer. The right fight have given this government an answer, and our answer is simply no. No to this indiscriminate law which strips so many people of its nationality. No to a system of apartheid which divides family, friends, and communities. No to a two-tiered system which causes people to be victimized and abused. No to a barbaric law which destroys everything our ancestors fought for.
Everything our ancestors gave their lives for. They didn't just fight, they died too. They made the ultimate sacrifice.
Everything our ancestors gave their lives for. Anything else?
No. That's it. It says exactly what we needed to say. Let's get it out there as soon as we can. Agreed?
Agreed.
Dee?
Well, it looks as if I'm in the minority again, and that is such a surprise. Tell me, Kathy, have you ever voted against your girlfriend? Why am I always the one surrounded by bleeding hearts? But soft what light through yonder window breaks? Huh, it's Ben, and this trio of romantic poets is complete. Write me like. No one's gonna read it anyways.
Hey Ben, any news?
No, still pretty quiet. There's a few more golfers outside since I've been on TV and a few more journos, obviously. We're not besieged or anything.
What about security forces? Guards? Army?
Ah, same as an hour ago. There's a cordon on Main Street. It's closed off to traffic, but it's hardly the Alamo. How's press release coming?
You know, first draft issues.
Creative differences.
We're not a band, Ben, and this isn't some movie or TV show. And when I ask you for a report, I expect a proper military report. I don't want to hear references to the Almano. Are we clear?
Yeah.
Yes, what?
Yes, ma'am.
That's more like it. Never send a man to do a woman's job. Kathy, finish up that draft. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Whew. That's to make a guy feel like he's back in short trousers. Now you know you've seen her. She's a sweetheart.
She has a lot on her plate, and you guys aren't making it any easier for her.
Excuse me for breathing. What did I do?
I don't mean you. I mean Dee. She's like a dog with a bone. fighting over every single thing, being bloody awkward. And then you came in.
But I didn't do anything. Why is she mad at me?
You know why. Everyone knows why. And it's sweet. It really is. But
But what? I really don't know what you're talking about.
fine. We'll play it your way. So you came all the way here to give Alison that report, yeah?
Yeah, and now that I've done that, I can just leave and go back to the others.
Ben,
Yeah?
you're still here.
I know it's that.
Roisin Ní here, outside Longford Courthouse, where teenagers have occupied the building since 8 a.m. this morning. In the last hour, we have heard from Alison Wilson, the leader of the Right Fight group, who are protesting over the government's non-Irish legislation. A crowd have been gathering here in Main Street all day, despite police cordons and warnings from the authorities to stay away from the area. We know very little about the protesters inside the courthouse, so I'm about to talk to some of the public here in the crowd, who are friends with some of the rebels. Sean, you're a friend of Kathy Daly. You went to school with her. Is that right?
That's right, Roisin. I was in the same class with her all through secondary school.
And what was she like? Was she always a rebel?
Kathy, a rebel? Are you joking me? Kathy was always a little Miss Goody Two-Shoes, quiet as a mouse. Always had her homework done. Half the time you wouldn't even notice her, she was that quiet. I'm not saying she was like a lick or anything, but she wasn't a teacher's pet, not at all.
So why do you think she suddenly decided to get involved with all of this?
Well, that's easy. It's all down to that Alison Wilson one. Kathy was an ordinary, decent, quiet girl until she came along. Then it's like, one morning she just woke up and bam! She's a lesbian, and she's a human rights protester, and she's some big rebel and stuff. Just like that. And I'll tell you another thing. She broke poor Ben's heart.
What do you mean? Who's Ben?
Oh, Ben McIntyre, my second cousin. Ben was in love with Kathy all through secondary school. And when he finally plucks up the courage to tell her, she announces that she's gay and that she's madly in love with this Alison Wilson. He was in bits. He didn't know what to do. I told him to cut his losses and move on, but he just wouldn't. He said it was just a phase. Some phase. Anyways, he's been following her like a puppy dog ever since. And look where he ends up. Over there with a gun in his hand and a target on his back, eh? Gobshy.
We apologise for that use of colourful language, but I'm sure our listeners can appreciate that passions are running high down here in the courthouse. I also have with me Kelly, a neighbour of one of the protesters, Fiona Smith. Kelly, tell us what you know about Fiona.
That Fiona Smith shouldn't even be in this country. Like, the law says if you're not born in Ireland, then you're not Irish, and we don't want you. Back to the country you were born in. Let them give you a job, or the dole, or kiddies allowance. Ireland is for the Irish, the born Irish. We don't have enough to give the likes of Fiona Smith and all those coming in here taking our jobs.
Keep Ireland for the guaranteed Irish!
This is my boyfriend Darren. He was born right here in Longford, and he can't get a job because of the likes of her.
And they were getting driving lessons in cars and houses. And what did we get, huh? Nothing. Your second cousin Jason knows a family in non-Irish who got a holiday paid for, just so they could go see the rest of their family. And who paid for that, huh? We did.
Do either of you know where Fiona was born?
She was born in England, her and her sister. And then her parents moved back to Ireland. And her brother was like, born here?
So you believe that Fiona and her sister should be deported, but her brother gets to stay, just because he was born here?
Exactly. If you were born here, you can stay here. If you weren't, get lost. And it's not just me saying that. That's the law.
Even if this law breaks up families, brothers and sisters, even parents and children.
Right, look, we're all in this situation because there are too many people in the country. There's not enough for the real Irish people, the ones that were born here. If we get rid of the people that don't belong here, then that's a start. And Fiona Smith and her sister should be the first ones to go.
Keep Ireland for the guaranteed Irish! This is our country, and it belongs to the likes of us.
Well, there you have it. Roshi Nikanija, local radio news.
No to a system of apartheid which divides families, friends, and communities. No to this two-tiered system that has caused people to be victimized and abused. No to a barbaric law that destroys everything that our ancestors gave their lives for. This statement from Right Fight leader Alison Wilson was uploaded to YouTube less than 30 minutes ago and has already gone viral. Fintan Harrington Quinn is our terrorism expert. Fintan, the Right Fight. That's not a name most of our viewers will be familiar with. Where have they come from?
Yes, that's a very good question, Michelle. As you say, the Right Fight are literally the new kids on the block. They formed as a protest group last year when details of the government's controversial plans were first made public. Initially, they were a peaceful group, demonstrations, marches, protests, and the like. But since the non-Irish laws were enacted, they've seemed to have dropped their peaceful methods and have resorted to picking up automatic weapons, something we're all too familiar with in Ireland, unfortunately.
So, what do they want? There is no list of demands, no deadline. Should we be taking this seriously, or is this just students looking for attention?
Well, to be honest, Michelle, I thought this was a really weak statement. I mean, they got our attention by occupying the courthouse. It's a bank holiday Monday, the anniversary of the Easter Rising. The eyes of the nation are upon them. They've given themselves a perfect platform to make a new proclamation, to change the course of history. But this wasn't the speech of a freedom fighter or a civil rights activist. This was more of a press release from a politician trying to explain themselves, trying to spin a situation. It was a lot of words really saying very little. In my opinion, Alison Wilson isn't someone to be scared of. She seems to me to be someone whose leadership has been overtaken by circumstances.
So you're saying there's nothing to worry about? That this protest won't last too long? Normal service will soon be resumed?
Now you're trying to put words into my mouth, Michelle. What I'm saying is that I have studied terrorists, protesters, and martyrs. And Alison Wilson doesn't strike me as someone who is willing to kill or die for this cause. With that being said, sometimes there is nothing more dangerous than guns in the hands of amateurs. If I were the authorities, I would be stepping in to put an end to this ASAP before someone gets hurt.
I think we're a bunch of kids. Stupid idea.
Bit late to go home now.
I'm not going home. I'm saying we've backed ourselves into a corner. We didn't give ourselves any room to maneuver. We're trapped, like rats.
Rats. With guns.
I don't want a gun. I just want the government to listen to us. I don't want to be here in a courthouse having to do all this. It's wrong. It's all wrong.
Speak softly and carry a big stick.
What are you talking about?
It's a saying. Teddy Roosevelt. Speak softly and carry a big stick. It means you should always proceed gently, with caution and non-aggression, but hold a decisive weapon in reserve. This is my decisive weapon.
Poison their toys. Ezra, this isn't paintball or Call of Duty. We are standing in a government building we've taken by force. We're all carrying guns. What's to stop them from coming in and killing us all?
Public opinion, the media, the people outside watching. Nobody's coming in here without talking to us first. They can't afford to have a massacre on their hands. We'd be martyrs.
This is all my fault. You're all fighting for me. None of you are even non-Irish. Doesn't even affect you.
Well, it pretty much affects me now. But if it'll make you happy, I can push you out the door first when they're looking for somebody to execute. Deal?
Deal. Let's just hope it doesn't come to that. Okay, I better go. My turn on watch.
Sir, we have reports of heavy exchanges in North King Street in the South Dublin Union, but Ned Daly and the 1st Battalion have so far managed to hold the British back.
Thank the good Lord for Ned Daly. If we'd a few more like him, we'd all be home at now, drinking tea.
Indeed, but it's not all good news, sir. Carl Brew of the 4th Battalion has been seriously injured in the South Dublin Union.
Another good man. Have we heard from Jacobs or Boland's Mill?
Sorry, sir, we have no news from the 2nd or 3rd Battalions. We just have to hope that no news is good news, sir.
Probably not, Corporal. But hope springs eternal. I want to hear if there's any news. Immediately.
Of course, sir.
Dismissed. And tell Miss Kearney to come in.
Sir.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Adjutant Kearney, take a seat. How's the patient?
Not very well. Sir Common Connolly took a bullet to the shoulder earlier, although it didn't do too much damage. However, the ricochet he took to his ankle is a different story. I believe it has shattered all the bones in his foot. He's unable to stand or walk, and although he won't admit it, he must be in excruciating pain. I also fear for the wound becoming gangrenous if he is to stay here much longer.
I pray that it does not last much longer. And I also hope that James Connolly will leave here by my side. It will kill him to leave in a stretcher. I have made a decision. The coming of honour to leave the GPO at noon. I'll get a message to the British forces and we'll arrange for a safe passage for you all. I promise.
But sir, you cannot ask us to leave. Not now.
Adjutant Kearney, I'm keenly aware of everything that the Common Amon has done for this cause. First aid, secretarial work, feeding the troops, and getting messages across in the most dangerous circumstances. But I predict that we are yet to see the worst of the fighting. The British have now made the GPO their main target, and I am responsible for every living soul within these walls. I will not have the deaths of Irish women on my conscience.
But sir!
Miss Kearney, please. I'm sorry, but this fight is no longer for you.
With the deepest respect, sir. Everyone who walked in here, man or woman, knew what could happen. And if they didn't, then they were either stupid or deluded. And I am neither. I walked in here with this, and a typewriter, and I am fully prepared to use both in order to secure freedom for Ireland. And I will not leave until we achieve that objective. Furthermore, Commandant James Connolly is my friend, my patient, and my commanding officer. He has already ordered me to leave, and I refused. So unless you intend to court-martial me, I would like to return to treating my patient.
Adjutant Carney, I've just given you a direct order. Becoming an honour to lead the GPO at noon.
Sir, I came into this building and I shall leave. If things are going to get worse, you will need us to provide first aid to the men. I will advise the women of Cumberland to leave at noon tomorrow, as you wish. But only if you allow those of us with medical training leave to remain.
Very well, Adjutant Carney. You have a deal. Gather the women and have them ready to leave at noon. Those of you who remain will have my thanks, the thanks of a grateful nation, and a place in Irish history. Have no fear about that. Fog Balak.
Guramah got the Cancy. Aaron Gobra.
Aaron Gabra.
We interrupt this programme to bring you the following news flash. Shots have been fired at Longford Courthouse, which has been occupied by Alison Wilson and her radical group, The Right Fight. Sources tell us that at least 2 people have been killed, one of them a member of the Garda Síochána, and a number of innocent bystanders have been injured. It is unknown whether any of the extremists have been hurt. An unconfirmed eyewitness report suggests that at 3:05 p.m., without any warning, there was a single shot fired from the courthouse, which resulted in retaliatory gunfire from Garda marksmen. Seconds later, rebels in the courthouse opened fire indiscriminately into the crowd below, resulting in at least 2 fatalities. There has been no official statement from the authorities as yet, but medical services are at the scene. For more information, as it happens, we are covering the siege continuously on our 24-hour news service. We will now return to our regular programming.
What the hell did you do? You disobeyed a direct order! Firing into the crowd. D, what
They shot first. I returned fire. Our orders were not to open fire. I didn't. I returned fire. The guard shot at us first. It was an unprovoked attack.
You shot indiscriminately into a crowd of innocent people. We don't know how many people you killed or injured. There could be friends of ours down there, family members. You do not shoot indiscriminately into a crowd, D. Ever!
They shot first. I returned fire. It was an automatic reaction.
Well, your automatic reaction has turned this protest into a siege. There is no way the authorities are going to negotiate with us now. They don't negotiate with terrorists. We'll be lucky to get out of this alive.
You really thought they were going to negotiate with us? A bunch of students. We are nobodies hanging around in an unused building on a bank holiday. You really thought that would bring this government to its knees? Middle-class socialists. You're all the same. I'm going to adopt this cause today and that cause tomorrow, global warming, fair trade coffee.
You did this on purpose. You shot into a group of innocent people to derail this process. You did shoot first.
I did not!
Of course you did! Why would they shoot first? You shot first. They returned fire. And then you...
Alison!
What?
It's Kathy. Better come quick.
What is it?
She's been hit by the guard bullet. She's been shot.
Shot? Where, is she okay? gone. She's dead. No, she's not. She's fine. She's fine. I was just talking to her. She's fine. Are you sure? I'm so sorry, Alison. I wish I could tell you something different. She was hit by the garden bullet. She would have been dead before she hit the ground. You! This is all your fault! You killed her! You killed Kathy.
What did you do?
I didn't start this, I swear to you. They shot first and I returned fire. I swear to you, the guard shot at us first. I only returned fire, I swear to you.
Do you think I care who fired the first shot, you maniac? Kathy is dead. This is what you wanted. Are you happy now? Happy that you have your armed struggle? I know. Let's see if shedding some more blood will make you even happier. Any last words, Dee? No? I thought you have a quote ready for such an occasion. An epitaph. Something we can put on your gravestone.
Ben, don't do this. It won't bring Kathy back.
I'm not trying to bring Kathy back. I'm just taking a leaf out of Dee's book. Shoot first, ask questions later.
Put the gun down, Ben. I know you're not going to shoot.
She killed Kathy. She's fucked everything up, everything. She's a cancer destroying everything she touches. She doesn't deserve to live among decent people. Get on your knees.
Stop. You can't let him. I don't care what you do. We just can't execute someone like this. Put the gun down, Ben.
Ben! I hate to interrupt your version of Reservoir Dogs. They want you downstairs. There's a guard outside. He's unarmed. I think he might be a superintendent or something. He wants to talk to you. Alison! I said he wants to talk to you!
Ben. Come with me. We need to take care of Kathy. And we'll go see what this guard has to say.
Live from Main Street, Longford, where the courthouse siege continues into its 8th hour. I can confirm that Garda Superintendent Paul Thompson met with the leader of the rebels, Alison Wilson, and another man identified locally as Ben McIntyre. Superintendent Thompson approached the courthouse unarmed and spoke to the rebels for a few minutes. We were unable to record the conversation, but Garda sources confirm that the insurgents were informed of the extent of the casualties to civilians and Gardaí. It is believed that the rebels also suffered a casualty, but no further details have been made available. We still await an official response from the Taoiseach or any other member of the new government. Roisin Knigia, Local Radio News.
You can get up now, they've gone.
think this is funny. He nearly blew my brains out.
No, he didn't. Christ. For someone who wants to be the alpha female around here, you take everything so personally.
I don't want to be the alpha female.
Of course you don't. Well, while you're lying there on the ground, like a pussy, the actual alpha female is down there talking to the cops. And she's all emotional because her special friend is gone. And I'm thinking right about now, Alison is wondering if this was all worth it. Maybe she's thinking, let's call it a day. We gave it our best shot. Well, I didn't come here to give it my best shot. And neither did you. Or have I got you confused with some weak-willed, crying little bitch?
You try calling me a little bitch one more time and you're going to be confused for the rest of your life.
That's more like it. Now you better get down there and make sure that there's no deals and no surrender, because we're here to the bitter end. No half measures.
They won't listen to me. They already blame me for Kathy.
And I thought I told you, don't be a little bitch. It's time to step up, thee. Come at the hour, come at the woman.
I prefer some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them.
I don't give a shite. Brendan Behan.
A number of high-profile politicians and religious leaders have made official statements following the incidents at Longford Courthouse earlier today. Mary White of the Liberty and Justice Party urged Gardaí to storm the courthouse and arrest the terrorists before any more innocent blood is spilled. Father James Donoghue has called for calm and understanding from both sides in this time of violence and tension. Stephen Morrison of the Social Alliance has attacked Gardaí for not protecting our citizens properly. At this point, there has been no comment, officially or unofficially, from the government. Our correspondent, Maeve Brennan, is in Longford and has been speaking to some of the residents to gauge the mood there, now that the once peaceful protest has turned into a bloodbath.
Thanks, Robert. There have been incredible scenes here in Longford tonight, as I can see the courthouse, which was the scene of gunfire as little as 45 minutes ago. Since then, the Gardaí have moved their cordon further back, and emergency services, armed response units, and officers from nearby Garda stations have also arrived at the scene. I spoke to some of the young people of Longford a short while ago to see what they think of the right fight rebels now. Are they freedom fighters or terrorists?
Who are these people, and what makes them think they can take over the courthouses and kill guards? The world's gone mad.
Joe McGuinness and Bridget Lyons must be turning in their graves. This is what they fought for, like just a bunch of students going on a killing spree. This isn't rebellion, this is just terrorism.
I don't support what's going on over there in the courthouse. It's just not right. The violence and it's just not right in this country. There's too much violence. Like I just don't understand it.
I don't see why they had to shoot. Gandhi used peaceful protests and that worked. It could have worked here. Ireland's been run by the gun for too long now.
So I can't understand why there was just so much violence, and you know I don't understand it. Why can't we just sit down and talk about it? Like there was already so much war and murder in this country already. I don't know why.
Well, who cares if you're Irish or non-Irish? I mean, we're all people. We eat the same food. We live. We die. Nationality isn't important.
It's just crazy for something like this to happen in Longford. I mean, it's like something from a TV show. I mean, like, Someone needs to put a stop to this before someone's killed.
They shot at innocent people. They killed Gardaí. If I had my way, every single one of them would hang. End of.
I was watching this on telly there the other day. My mum's non-Irish, and I wish I was in there fighting with them, sure. Fighting for Ireland.
Thanks, Maeve. That was Maeve Brennan, on the ground in Longford. Well, there's been a very significant development while we were watching that segment. The Right Fight group that have taken over Longford Courthouse and killed at least 2 people, one a Garda, have been given a deadline of midnight to surrender. It has been confirmed that Garda Superintendent Paul Thompson gave the ultimatum to the group's leader when he met with them outside the courthouse. Superintendent Thompson told Alison Wilson that if the group do not put down their weapons and exit the courthouse by the deadline, then Garda will have no option but to take back the building by force.
This is a place of peace, sacred to the dead, where men should speak with all charity and with all restraint. But I hold it a Christian thing, as O'Donovan Rossa held it, to hate evil, to hate untruth, to hate oppression, and hating them, to strive to overthrow them. Our foes are strong and wise and wary. But strong and wise and wary as they are, they cannot undo the miracles of God, who ripens in the hearts of young men the seeds sown by the young men of a former generation. And the seeds sown by the young men of 65 and 67 are coming to their miraculous ripening today. Rulers and defenders of realms had need to be wary if they would guard against such processes. Life springs from death, and from the graves of patriot men and women spring living nations. The defenders of this realm have worked well both in secret and in the open. They think that they have pacified Ireland. They think that they have purchased half of us and intimidated the other half. They think that they have foreseen everything, think that they have provided against everything. But the fools, they have left us, our Fenian dead. And while Ireland holds these graves, Ireland, unfree, shall never be at peace.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I've known Kathy for years, and I can honestly say I've never met anyone like her. She was such a genuine person, and one of the few people in my life who really, truly cared. She cared about the important things, not politics. She cared if you were happy, and if she could do something to help. She loved to help. She helped me so much when things started to go bad, and I felt like my whole life was being taken away from me. She was just there for me. She helped me stand up for myself. She help me stand up for other people like me. I just can't accept that this is her reward. They have taken the best of us, and I'm not going to watch them take any more of us. Not in my name. I hope you can forgive me, Kathy. This fight is no longer for me. I'm sorry.
She's right. They did take the best of us. I feel like I've been fighting my whole life. But then I met you. It seemed like it had all been worth it. Of course, then we had a whole new fight on our hands. And we did that too. And then you, like you always did, thought about other people. You saw what was going on in our country, to our friends. And you felt like there was one more fight left in us. I was done fighting. I just wanted to keep what we had. To curl up under the duvet with you and let them fight their own battles. But you wouldn't let me. You told me that I was better than that. We had a duty. Calling. You convinced me that I could be a leader. But you were the real leader. You led by example, and you always kept your word. I don't care what happens to me now, and I don't care how I'm remembered for all of this. I only ever cared about what you thought of me. I just hope I haven't let you down. Kathy, this is the hardest decision of my life. But I can't let you leave this place on your own. I'm not going to tell anyone else what to do. They all have to make their own choices. They won't get an argument from me.
No one wants to listen to me, but...
You're right, Dee. You've never been more right of anything in your life. I never want to hear from you again. I never want to see your face. I know Kathy wouldn't want me to carry on this hate, but I will. Because every time I think of her, I'll think of you, and I'll hate you. I know for sure now that there's no God, because if there was one, she'd be still alive, and you'd be the one leaving in a body bag. So Dee, you can stay here or you can leave. I really don't care. Just don't try and use your memory to justify anything you do. Actually, Dee, I hope you do stay. And I hope they blow your fucking brains out.
Well, that was emotional.
I should have said something.
It's all been said. The time for talking is over. You need to make a decision.
I am in blood, stepped in so far, I should wade no more. Returning is as tedious as go over. I can't go back now. There's not even a choice. What about you? You don't even seem worried.
This isn't my first suicide mission. Come on. I don't think they're going to hang around once the deadline passes.
There have been some startling developments in the Longford Courthouse siege. In the last few minutes, over 30 members of the Right Fight have left the building unarmed and have been arrested by Gardaí. The body of Right Fight member Cathy Daly was also removed from the building. There were angry scenes outside the courthouse as Right Fight leader and girlfriend of the slain terrorist, Alison Wilson, and 31 of her acolytes exited the building they had occupied for almost 16 hours. With a death toll of 3 and another 4 currently in hospital. Our sources tell us that there are a number of people still in the courthouse. Whether they intend to leave before the midnight deadline is unclear. Our correspondent, Maeve Brennan, reports to us now, live from the scene.
Thanks, Robert. The incredible scenes in Longford continue as most of the Right Fight rebels have surrendered themselves to the Gardaí. First out of the courthouse was the group's leader, Alison Wilson, carrying a white flag. She was followed by a further 31 of the insurgents. One body was carried from the courthouse, draped in the Irish tricolour. Gardaí have confirmed that it was the body of Cathy Daly, girlfriend of the Right Fight leader. Authorities have not made any comment on what will happen to these dissidents, all of whom have been removed from the scene. However, we believe 2 rebels remain inside of the building. With only 15 minutes to go until the midnight deadline, it is unclear whether they intend to remain inside until the bitter end. Relatives, friends and the supporters of those slain by the terrorists have been campaigning for Gardaí to storm the building. The reaction when the 32 surrendered and left the courthouse was nothing short of vitriolic. Bottles, stones, bricks and debris were thrown at Alison Wilson and her followers as they surrendered themselves to Gardaí. Tensions are running incredibly high, and I really don't think we've seen the last of the violence here tonight.
So this is it?
Butch and Sundance.
More like Thelma and Louise.
Jesus. I know it doesn't make any difference now, but I never wanted anyone to get hurt. I never wanted anything to happen to Cathy, to any of you. It's just not what I wanted. I would die for you guys.
You're going to. You didn't kill Cathy. I did. I fired a shot. I had orders to escalate the situation. They needed casualties, some blood in the battlefield.
Orders? What orders? Who are they? Who the hell are you, Ezra?
You're not the only one fighting this battle, Lee. Did you think you were? Are you really that naive? Do you honestly think they would leave something this important to a bunch of kids? Don't worry. You're going to be a martyr. Me too, and Kathy. My people are going to use this protest as the springboard for a revolution this country has not seen for 100 years. To quote Thomas Clark, this insurrection will have a great effect in the country. It will be a different Ireland. And that's all anyone can ask for. Leave a mark. Change the world.
Well, I need a cigarette.
You don't smoke.
Seems like a good time to start. What's the worst that could happen? Once more onto the breach, dear friends. Once more.
And close up the wall with our Irish dead. Shakespeare was Irish. Did you know that?
Was he?
No.
You're watching this, presume things didn't go as far as we hoped for. But at least we tried. We actually did something.
Hello, I'm Ben. I'm a Capricorn. I like long walks on the beach, books, poetry. The main thing about me is I like my women like I like my coffee. Hot, sweet, and still in the closet. So what are you waiting for? Give me a call.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I have yet heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come.
Go away.
Go on and kiss the girl.
Aww. If you want to seriously get lost, you're ruining the moment here.
Lena!
Oh my god. Wait. Unless you want to sing.
No. Ooh, that's good.
Kathy, sing for me. Sing for me, please. For me. Put down the camera.
No.
Don't put down the camera. What, you have a focus, please. Okay. She does. Oh, she's amazing. Just this once. Just this once. You're making me look away. You're making me look away.
I'm looking away.
Shine like an arc light, seem like a bird might sing. When he was higher than heaven, higher than every other thing. Some kind of arc light, sparks in the street. I know that you've no answers. All I need for you to shine. Okay.
Go away.
Good.